Hey Switchheads, Kanan here, welcome back and welcome to my review of GLAM, a side view swingy platformy puzzler game by Three-Legged Egg, which has to be the coolest name for a development company ever. And before we get started, how about clicking that link down below, which will take you to our Discord, our community Discord, where we always do fun streams. And with that out of the way, is GLAM going to glam itself up to the Wall of Fame, or hang its head in shame on the Wall of Shame? Or maybe somewhere in the middle. Gameplay. Okay, so before we go any further, let's tweak our character, colour her hair, her skirt, her shoes, basically everything to make her look fabulous. And so in the game you can actually jump, you can grab hold of like walls and traverse yourself around them, underneath them, but you can only do this for a certain amount of time before you just fall off. And then there's the hair. Well, what sort of glam would there be without the hair? But this time you can grapple onto things with your hair and swing on it like a female Indiana Jones. Sorry about that. Anyway, this is all done in stages, and as you progress it gets harder and different mechanics are added for you to, well, traverse over and try to work out. It's also a puzzler, as I mentioned before, so you will be working your way out of these actual screens. And yes, there is a level of satisfaction when you do, especially on some of the levels that are really difficult, and it took me ages to get past them. The controls are okay. I sometimes and occasionally found that when I made a jump, I was slightly too far one way or the other, pixel-wise, and it just knocked me out. I killed my character, even though technically I should have made that actual leap, or passed the monster, or killed the monster. By the way, they laugh at you when you die. Damn you, monsters! I also found the controls a little bit unresponsive now and again, but not too often, although it did annoy when it did happen. And I have to admit also that I was really bad at playing the game unless I actually had the controls connected to the actual Switch, which means when I took it out to play on the TV or the like, it really went downhill for me. Graphically, I find it a quite unique style, especially the background with all the looks and the kind of like the white sheen as if you're almost looking through glass, or at least that's what it looked like to me anyway. Found the main character quite a cool little concept, the way they did it and the way they did it with the hair as well, and I really did enjoy, to be completely honest with you, the fact that you can change the colour of the actual character. In fact, I wish more games would do this, because I'm guessing it's a simple but really effective thing that they've done here. And that laugh, as I said before, you can actually see those monsters laughing at you. Damn you monsters again. I found the audio, the actual music was okay, the actual other sounds within the game was very clear, precise, very crisp in its way, and I did actually appreciate that. That was very nicely done, from like a high-heeled running that you can hear to other little details that, you know, just add weight to the actual game itself. The good. Well, I do like the actual look at it. I do like the fact that it's difficult and it's not going to, as you go on, it's not going to make the whole game easy for you. There is a challenge for sure here. The sound, as I've just said, is very crisp and precise to the point, and I quite like that as well. And I like the concept. I like the whole fact that they've thought differently than just to give her a whip. They've used her hair. It's something that's not really seen in most games, because most people just go for something that's generic. The bad, there is definitely, or at least to me, something not quite right with them controls. I also tried to play around with the key binding, as in where the keys actually go on the keypad, but that didn't really work out for me. So in the end, I ended up just putting them back where they were. Okay, job done, you were right, they should be there. I also didn't like the fact that it did sometimes just feel a bit too unfair, that if you were just slightly out but you should have been actually on point for where you landed or hit something and it didn't count. It just felt sometimes the pixels were wrong in some way. The score. Well, I did like the game. It had some nice little features, some things that were different, and kind of some old school things that were like freshened up as well. I'm not 100% sure about the longevity of the game, but I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. A slightly above average because of its uniqueness to what they've actually done with the game, but for me it's going to be a 3 out of 5. I would definitely say it's a slightly above average game. In fact, if it gets rid of all the faults that I said before, and I know there's not really that many faults, then it could be pushing a slightly higher mark from me. I just felt like I was getting a bit frustrated at times and it not necessarily being my fault. The alternative. Not quite as cute as this game, but I'm gonna suggest Super Meat Boy. Yes, I played this when I was younger, I quite liked it. It's got the same sort of get through the screen by jumping and doing stuff and jumping off walls and the like type thing. Kind of if this was a bloody version of itself with a few different mechanics and absolutely no hair whatsoever. But it's still a good game and I would still recommend it. Drop a comment down below, feel free, that's where they belong, or come and join us in our Discord, the community Discord, where we do loads of streaming each and every week, and you, if you want to, can join in, or just come along and support us from the wings. Because life is better when we switch together.